A man's bag is an extension of himself. What you carry says a lot about you. Every item is a showcase of your personality, and what you pack in your bag matters. It sets the tone for what you'll do or hope to do for that day, and a well-packed bag with the right items can turn hours of dead time into a productivity session, a delayed train into stress relief, and an unpredictable situation into an opportunity. Pick the right bag. There are so many different types of bags. There's book bags, messenger bags, tote bags, a satchel. Some can pack light, while others will need their backpack filled with every single tech product they own and the occasional animal. I use a lot of different bags, but the one I reach for most often when I know it's going to be a busy day or when I'm traveling is my Gregory backpack. And no, I didn't name the backpack myself. The company is called Gregory Backpacks. Actually, that's a funny story, which does kind of bring me to my next point. Your bag should have a story. Back in 2023, during my first trip to Japan, I stumbled across this backpack store in Tokyo called Gregory. Now, Gregory, the backpack company, isn't a Japanese company. I believe it's an American company, but I found it interesting to find a store with my namesake on it in Japan. So when I went inside and talked to the staff, I showed them my passport with my name on it, and I said, "These bags, they have my name on it. I need to get one." And we shared a laugh over that, and now every time I pick up this book bag, I am reminded of that store. I am reminded of the staff. I'm reminded of that great trip to Japan. So this bag has a story, and because of that, I'm a lot more attached to it. Also, it has my name on it, so that wins at some points too. But I get it, you're watching this video for some inspiration on what you should put in your bag, or maybe the bag itself. So maybe you wanna get this bag, but it might be a little hard to get because this version, after further research, even though the brand isn't Japanese, this commuter bag series is exclusive to Japan. But I'll leave a link to their Rune line, which seems similar to this with a slightly different design in the way they do the compartments, but again, seems very similar. And I'll also leave you with an eBay listing of the Japanese version for this bag that I have. And I guess after watching this video, if you buy this bag, well, I guess you fulfilled the story part of this video. You have a story on how you found this bag. You were recommended to it by your friend Gregory, who makes YouTube videos. So there you go. Now let me tell you why I use this bag so much, because it has a lot of compartments in it. I can carry a lot of stuff in this. I can carry around 2 full-size laptops and an iPad at the same time. There's enough compartments to do that in this bag with room to spare. So if you see me walking down the street with this bag, just know I have 3 MacBooks on me. Potentially. There could also be nothing in here. There's an AirTag in here, so don't steal it. Now, besides those 2 big main compartments, it also has this front compartment here where it has pockets where I can store things like phones, and then just another area where I can store other things that we'll talk about in this video, just a pocket where I can quickly grab things, which is great. And then it also has another zipper down here for a bottom compartment. Again, just a big pouch here where I can just throw other items and get them quickly, which is really convenient. This thing stores a lot of stuff in it. So overall, just a nice, big, comfortable backpack. I like the mesh backing on it. Gives a lot of airflow for breathability, which is important when it's hot out. And it's also pretty comfortable, which is also important when you're carrying a lot of stuff. Optimize for your main device. What I classify as your main device is what you use to do important things. Every one of us has some sort of job, hobby, passion, and your bag should be catered around that. Now, chances are, it's probably a laptop. It is most likely a laptop. We're all in this digital age, right? We're all going through this together. You got a laptop. Now for me, it could be 3 different kinds of laptops, right? Sometimes I can carry all 3 of them. Usually I don't. I'll just carry one. Now, mostly it's probably gonna be this 16-inch MacBook Pro if it's a heavy work day where I know I will need to have a powerful device. So this is my M3 Max MacBook Pro. I spec'd it out a while ago. It has the most powerful M3 Max chip, 8 terabytes of storage, 128 gigabytes of memory. Wouldn't you love that during this memory shortage? 128 gigabytes. It's a very powerful laptop. It's the best laptop I have ever owned. Very, very powerful. More than powerful enough for what I use it for. But it's good to have those specs. But I do kind of have a love-hate relationship with this laptop because the size. Considering it is my primary device, I like that the increased size means that you have a bigger thermal envelope, meaning like, you know, if I'm maxing out the chip, you don't hear the fan spin up as much and you just get the maximum performance out of this machine, which is good. And then obviously the big 16-inch display is really nice to work on when you're traveling. But I do hate the increased size and weight when I'm traveling with it, which is why lately I've actually been carrying around my MacBook Neo. This laptop is much smaller, weighs less, and yes, I would not use this as my main editing machine, but I do find that it's more than powerful enough to do any of my other work-related tasks, like scripting, emailing, research, and managing my social media feeds. It's very easy to shitpost on this. Other times I will also use my 13-inch iPad Pro, which actually has the nicest display out of any of my main devices and offers a different creative outlet for writing down notes with the Apple Pencil. You need to carry a phone. Yes, you're going to need to carry around a phone unless you're Christopher Nolan.
No, I've never had a smartphone. Oh, no interest.
Now, my main phone isn't actually in my bag. It's in my pocket, and I recently switched back to using the iPhone Air. I may talk about this in a video that may or may not be out by the time you watch this. But recently, I've just been feeling like I've been using my phone too much, and I wanted to switch to a phone that felt less like a big, constant presence in my life. The Air symbolizes that for me. It's something that's supposed to be thinner, lighter, a little more out of the way than my 17 Pro. It's mostly a psychological thing, but I've been using the Air for the past few weeks, and right now, I'm really liking it. Now, what might be in my bag is my iPhone 17 Pro, which is actually in my iPhone Pocket, which I got in London, actually, randomly. I was in London, they launched the iPhone Pocket, I went to go get it. That's another cool story. So even this iPhone Pocket has a story, but if it's in my bag, my iPhone 17 Pro is inside of it, kind of like the old iPod socks, just so the phone doesn't get damaged with all the other stuff tumbling around in there. Now, right now, if you look closely, my SIM is not in this device. This is not my main device right now, but I do carry this around on trips. Like when I was filming for this video, some of these shots were done on the 17 Pro. So I like the 17 Pro's advanced video capabilities, better microphones, and those extra lenses. So right now, this is kind of like my dedicated camera for shooting video, especially for short form content. I might also carry around my Insta360 gimbal as well. It folds down, it's easy to pack, and it makes the footage really stable. And it also uses a MagSafe mount for the phone, so the setup and breakdown is really quick and easy. So currently a 2-phone lifestyle, which I guess makes sense for the name Greg's Gadgets. You will need storage. Listen, if you're shooting lots of content, you will need storage. One of the reasons I even carry around the 17 Pro is because it has a faster USB-C port where I can record onto external storage. And this little thing I'm holding in my hands is actually a 2 terabyte external solid-state drive with built-in USB-C. So I can just plug this directly into my 17 Pro, record video onto it, then directly plug this into my MacBook Pro to transfer video files for editing. It's awesome, it saves me a lot of time, and I can store a lot of ProRes video on here. I also have a 1 terabyte SanDisk drive that's similar, although it doesn't have the built-in USB-C, you have to use a cable, but this does have MagSafe on the back, so you can just plop it on the back of your iPhone, plug it in, kind of works the same way. So I have a couple of different storage options to use this, and I think this one works a little bit better if you want to edit directly off the drive. Of course, I also have SD cards. I have a lot of SD cards. This is one of them. This is a SanDisk V90, 256 gigabytes. It's pretty fast. Put it in my camera, record stuff. So chances are, if you're using cameras, you're gonna need storage. Speaking of cameras, I didn't even have this in my bag. This is my Sony FX3. This is the main camera I use to shoot most of the content for the Greg's Gadgets YouTube channel. Love this camera, got it a few years ago, and I haven't felt the need to replace it. Like, this has been the longest camera I've used for this extended period of time. So shoots great, 4K, S-Log3, 120 frames per second. I don't know what more you could ask for in a camera. They shot a full movie on this, the creator. They shot that movie on this camera. And I'm not making movies. I am making YouTube videos. I'm making bad YouTube videos, but not movies. even if you don't use a camera or you aren't using like a bunch of media files, I think it's cool to carry around something like a thumb drive anyway. Like sometimes people are gonna need to transfer a file. And then if you have like a thumb drive, you could be the hero. You could be like, actually, we can load it onto here and you can put it onto your computer. Probably a scenario that won't happen, but it has happened sometimes to someone, I'm sure. And they said, you are a hero. Thank you for carrying storage in the digital age of 2026. Or you could airdrop things to people if you both have an iPhone. That's also pretty convenient. Maybe send it over email if the files aren't too big. Things will get loud. It doesn't matter where you go, how peaceful you think your cafe will be, or even out in nature. Sometimes things are gonna be loud. But we live in the age of control. Noise control. So your bag should contain some pair of noise canceling headphones. For me, that's usually a pair of AirPods Pro 3, or sometimes, if I'm feeling up to it, and if I have extra space in my bag, it could be my AirPods Max 2. With either of these, I can immediately cut out any annoying sounds or unwanted noise, so makes listening to music or a podcast or that rare audiobook without any disturbance a lot more pleasurable. And I'm not disturbing anyone too. I'm not blasting music on the subway. So it's a win-win for society overall. Don't blast your music on the train. It's really annoying. Especially if it's a video. Like if it's a short form video, AI videos too, and you hear people playing them and they're just like watching them and get a pair of headphones, have some dignity. You're going to get hot. Yes, sometimes it's going to be too hot or it's going to be too cold. Today, it is a particularly hot day. Now, to fix this in your bag, maybe you could pack an ice cube. That would probably melt. You could maybe bring a cold can of soda, but that wouldn't last too long. Or you can step into the 21st century and pack in your bag a TORRAS COOLiFY 2S Pro. Now, what this is your own lightweight portable air conditioner, which bends and you can adjust over your neck almost like a pair of headphones. Then when you turn it on, these vents blow out a steady stream of cold air. It also features 2 cooling plates, and these plates get cool really fast. So when you place them on your neck, it feels like placing an ice cold can of soda directly on the back of your neck. It feels so good. And this is actually for any weather situation because you can also set up the 2S Pro to heat up. So it's perfect for a hot day out or a cold night. What I like about the 2S Pro is it has a long-lasting 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Now with the fan on, that's 28 hours of total time. But with the advanced cooling and heat modes, that gives you around 4 hours of use, which is perfect for a long walk out in the city. And if you want the most advanced cooling and heating solution, you should also check out the Cyber Fold. First of all, it has a really cool cyberpunk design and a really compact design. It folds up and reduces the size of it even further by about 50%, and it offers a lot of adjustability with its 120-degree hinge. It also has advanced triple zone semi-conducting cooling plates powered by graphene cooling, and it can deliver an 18-degree temperature drop in just 5 minutes. And the color of the plates on this one even turn blue when it gets cold or red when it's hot. So you can see the color change happen in real time. And with all 8 air channels activated, you get more cooling coverage for your face, neck, and downward facing vents that go down your back, which feels so nice on a sunny day like today. You can't control the weather, so it's nice that the S2 Pro and Cyberfold let you enjoy your day out even when it's hot and humid, so you don't get uncomfortable and you can enjoy your time. To check out the TORRAS 2S Pro or the Cyberfold, check out the link in the description below, and thank you to TORRAS for sponsoring this video. Prepare to be bored. At some point, your day will get interrupted. Your train will be late, your plane delayed, your date will be late. Sometimes, they won't even show up at all. It is a fact of life that you will get bored, and in your bag should be something to counter that boredom. That isn't a phone. Why not your phone? Well, because I find that most people, myself included, counter this boredom of daily life with mindless doom scrolling on social media. It is the quickest way to induce ourselves into a state of non-boredom. But I think your downtime should be spent on things that are more intentional, things that expand your mind and give you things to talk about, things that make you a more interesting person to be around. I recommend carrying an e-reader with books on it, books that you will read, books that will expand your knowledge, give you a new perspective, and books that you can talk about. For me, I am currently using the Kindle Colorsoft, which has a compact 7-inch form factor, so it doesn't take up that much space in my bag. It lasts for about 2 months in between charges, and it's waterproof, so I can read it by the pool. It also has a color e-ink display, which is not necessary, by the way. Most of the time when you're reading books, you're just staring at a page with black text, but I do like the color screen for the different colored highlights I can make, and I do like the added bonus of being able to see full color photographs, and just seeing my books with their full colored artwork on the home screen is really nice too. But hey, if you're bored and you don't like reading, of course, watch a movie, a TV show, a long form YouTube video on your phone. And yes, even if you're intentional about the short form content you watch, you can take something away from it that people will find interesting. But what I'm trying to say is, don't mindlessly scroll to numb your boredom. It's rotting our brains. It's rotting my brain. I feel it. I feel very dumb lately. And I am a firm believer that even playing video games, especially single-player, story-driven games, is a much better use of your time and for your mind than time spent mindlessly scrolling. I mean, it's in the name, mindlessly scrolling. So if you enjoy video games, what I like to do is pack a portable console in my bag as well. For me right now, that is more than likely the Nintendo Switch 2, which I have in its own little carrying case. This is my favorite modern day portable console. I think what I like the most about the Switch 2 is just how much faster the loading times on it over the Switch 1. I can't go back to that. Obviously, I just like the better hardware on the system, the better graphics, the faster frame rates, the bigger screen size, and I feel like it's a lot more portable than my Steam Deck. But still, I don't think this is like super portable. Like, you need a bag to carry this thing around. You can't put this in your pocket. But speaking of pocket, one of the things I also might carry around, probably not at the same time, is my analog pocket, which is basically a modern day updated Game Boy with a built-in battery, a high resolution OLED screen that can play Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games. It's got a very nice, clean, minimalist look. It even has USB-C to charge. It has a headphone jack. It even has the port for like the Game Boy connector. And playing Pokemon Fire Red on it right now. And yeah, if you're into retro gaming, I think analog makes some really great stuff. They even have like an analog N64, but that's not in my bag. So we're talking about what's in my bag. This might be in my bag. I'm also a firm believer that every bag needs sunscreen. And I'm not just saying that because I'm the palest person you've ever seen. The sun is the #1 leading cause of premature skin aging, meaning the more time you spend outside, completely barefaced, unprotected, the older you will look over time, which is a slightly worse side effect than developing skin cancer. I guess developing skin cancer is also really bad, and sunscreen prevents that. But mostly we just don't want to look old, right? Seriously, my pro tip, find a sunscreen that is broad spectrum, that blocks UVB rays, those are the ones that burn you, and UVA rays, those are the ones that lead to premature aging, so, you know, wrinkling on your face and sunspots and all that other stuff. Apply it when it's sunny outside, when it's cloudy outside, in the peak of summer, and on the coldest day in winter, and you can age just as gracefully as I am. I do okay. I do okay. If you want to know the one I use, this is Skin 1004. It is a Korean brand, so check out your K-beauty stores. You can be beautiful. It's really good. It has like advanced UV filters that they don't sell in the US, so that's why I use Korean sunscreen. Some of the best UVA filters out there, and they don't sting your eyes, which a lot of other US sunscreens do sting my eyes, so if you have sensitive skin like I do, highly recommend trying these Korean sunscreens out. Just make sure they're legitimate. I wouldn't buy them off Amazon. I found a lot of counterfeits there. Now, sunscreen is the most advanced anti-aging technology, but an actual bit of tech that I carry to make sure I put it on properly is a portable UV camera. Now, this is a pretty simple device. You just flip it open. It has a mirror on the top. You can stare at yourself, make sure you look nice. But then there's this screen on the bottom and a UV camera on the bottom. So it lets you check if your sunscreen is applied evenly or if you need to reapply later in the day. It is rechargeable via USB-C, as everything else is in this bag pretty much. And it is low maintenance. So highly recommend getting a device like this if you are serious about sun protection. I actually forgot what brand this is, but it'll be in the link in the description, so you can find it out there. You should write things down. Yes, in my tech bag full of screens and other technology is the oldest technology. Paper and a pen. Why? Well, other than trying to look smart, I am actively trying to write more things down. This could be lists, thoughts on a movie I just saw, or a book I just read, or my daily diary with all my deep, personal, dark secrets that I don't want anyone to know about. Or an idea that just popped into my head that I don't want to forget.
And if you catch an idea that you love, that's a beautiful, beautiful day. And you write that idea down so you won't forget it. Thinking about that small fragment, that little fish, will bring in more.
Yes, ideas are like fish. Don't lose them. Write them down. Now, the notebook I use is a Lecterm 1917 notebook because, well, that was a less problematic year for the Germans, and I really like that the front area has a table of contents that you can fill in yourself and keep your notes, thoughts, and journal well organized, and it's just a high quality notebook overall. But yeah, use any notebook, or if you prefer, you can just even journal on your phone or record a voice memo. But the idea remains, record your day so you can look back, find perspective, and don't lose your fish, or your ideas, or your pen. And don't lose your bag. There's no excuse to lose your bag in 2026. There are so many methods you can use to keep track of your bag. In fact, if you're an Apple user like me, just having a device like an iPad or a MacBook or even a pair of AirPods, it likely means you already have a way to find your bag. There is Apple's Find My integration built into all of that. Still, it is always great to have some redundancy, which is why I use a dedicated tracker. So I always put an AirTag in my bag. It's small. You can hide them in compartments most people won't dig through right away, and they last on a user replaceable battery that lasts for about a year. So if your device's battery dies, well, you can still find your bag. So yeah, get an AirTag or something similar like a tile. Do they still make those? Put it in your bag and you have a fast way to recover it if it's lost or stolen. Pick the right cable. Yes, you should pack a cable because you might need to plug in to charge or transfer some data. And even though we live in the world of USB-C, not all USB-C cables are created equally, which is confusing. It's really confusing. It's not fair because you could buy a cable that, even though it's USB-C, is really just meant for charging. And even though that same cable will fit into the USB-C port on an external drive, well, because it's a slow rated cable, it won't transfer that data quickly. So my advice to you is to maybe get rid of those slower USB-C cables in your bag and maybe just pick up a few USB-C 3.2 cables. Now, these transfer data at 10 gigabits per second. They're fast and they can fast charge devices. They basically do it all. I use these ones from Ugreen, but really any 3.2 cable will do it. Pick a few up, throw them in your bag, and live in the promised bliss of the post-USB-C world. Now, sure enough, when you're traveling with a lot of tech, there's going to be a time where your battery for some reason gets drained. It can be from using your device all day, maybe poor cellular service, or even those times where you forgot to plug in the night before. You're eventually going to get that low battery warning on one of your devices. It happens to everyone. You don't have to feel bad about it, which is why every bag, every person needs to carry around a portable charger. They come in many sizes, forms. Some are even custom made for a single device. The one you carry shouldn't be. It should be versatile enough to charge your phone, your earbuds, your gaming console, and yes, even your laptop. Thankfully, the technology exists because of this port. Yes, every device I featured in this video, including that weird UV sunscreen camera that you're secretly still judging me for. Every device I use, and likely most of you use at this point, has a USB-C port. So you should carry around a battery bank that just has one of these built in. I use this one from Anker because it actually doubles as a portable battery bank and also a power brick. So if you forget your cables, you can still charge your devices. Even if you're on a trip and you completely run out of the battery power, you can plug this into the wall and keep charging your devices. There's even a spare port so you can charge a second device. Something like this is really useful. It'll save your butt when you need it. Highly recommend something like this. Of course, if it is a multi-day trip, I will pack along a more powerful power bank. I also like this one from Ugreen that also has a built-in cable. If you can't tell, I like these built-in cables because, hey, sometimes you do forget a cable. It's always nice to have a backup. And I also carry around this foldable 3-in-1 wireless charger from Anker Prime. This charges my iPhone at 25 watts. It charges my Apple Watch, and it can also charge my AirPods Pro. So definitely need this on an overnight trip where I have all of these devices. And that's really it. There's not much more I can say about what to add to your tech bag. Of course, everyone is going to have different needs, different use cases, and a different bag. Some will be more tech focused, some less. Different workflows, different ideas, and different products. But ultimately, our goal is to be more organized, more thoughtful, and more intentional. And the gear in our bag is just another tool to help us get work done or relax and unwind in our various homes away from homes throughout our life. That sounded really profound and meaningful. Also, it's cool to watch a video of a famous YouTuber like myself that, you like to know what's in my bag. And don't worry. Yes, there are signed autographed prints in the bag I carry, so if you see me out in the street, just ask for one, and I'll be sure to give it to you. But all right, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give me a like. If you want to see more, make sure you're subscribed, and thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.